What is up, everyone? My name is Sholtan, and today we're going to do another Javelin Spotlight, and this one is going to be the Colossus, which is the other Javelin that I got to try out in this demo. Um, like I said in the Ranger video, I'm going to be checking out the Interceptor and the Storm in the open demo that is coming up real soon. So if you want to try out Anthem, definitely check that out. Um, but yeah, the Colossus is easily the class that from day one, from the time it was revealed, that was the class I wanted to play. You know, that was the thing that, in Destiny 1, I liked playing the Titan. I liked, being able to tank with my Word of Dawn. And I liked the idea of the Colossus of being the heavy with the big shield and the shield slam and all that. So yeah, the Colossus, the first thing you're gonna notice, which pretty much took me by surprise, is the fact that you don't have an energy shield, like the others do. Like, your shields don't recharge. All you have is a health bar. You have thicker armor, so you have more defense, and you have more health than your normal Javelin, but you're not as tanky as I initially thought you were gonna be, when the game was first announced, right? I thought the Colossus was going to be more of this grounded fortress type of Javelin. I thought you were going to be like this big wall that just stands tall, when in actuality, since you don't have recharging shields, the way that you sustain yourself is by getting health pickups, and the way you get health pickups, the best way to get them is killing enemies. And so I found myself playing a much more mobile and a much more aggressive play style than I initially thought I was going to play with the Colossus, right? I thought I was going to be a little a little bit more on the defensive type, where I was a lot more aggressive, just going into swarms and trying to kill enemies with my ground slam, then following it with my storm coil, and then slamming again to do a combo with that. Using the railgun to shoot weaker enemies and one-shot them. Um, running with my shield forward so I would knock out enemies to the ground, and so you have a little bit of crowd control with that capabilities. So I found myself, constantly moving on the battlefield. I found myself like actually having a lot more fun that way. I felt like I was constantly in the heat of battle. And then you have the ultimate, which is pretty much the most orgasmic thing ever in the game. Just shooting these literal nukes at enemies is the most satisfying thing I have found in my Anthem gameplay. And then you had stuff like the railgun, which was another one of my favorite weapons, where you just charge up this shot, and like, you'll only hit one enemy, but that enemy is gonna take a shit ton of damage. You're gonna bring down its shield, and the impact is gonna bring it on the ground if it's flying. And then I had also the choice with a mortar fire or the storm coil, which was this big electrical AoE around me, which was super effective against the scorpions, and I even found kind of effective against the Scar when I was, being more up close and personal. I still liked that ability there. So this is definitely, I liked a lot of the weapons, right? Like the autocannon, right? The heavy weaponry. Like, the other Javelins don't get to play with the autocannon. That is your personal baby, and that is by far my favorite weapon in the game right now. Just unloading these huge clips, like hundreds of bullets, and just going through it all in one go on a single enemy, on a boss, or another named enemy, is also one of the more satisfying things of the game. You do have access to grenade launchers, which I didn't like because you have to manually detonate the charges, which I don't really like. But I'm sure there's other options. Like, that's the thing, right? I haven't seen every option of autocannon archetype. I haven't seen all the options for grenade launcher archetypes, and maybe there are more options in the types of heavy weapons we can get in the full release, which I am very much looking forward to. You know, the more exclusive toys I have, the better. It's just gonna make me feel even more special with my Colossus. And then there's another ability that really caught my eye, which I didn't really feel a need to use in this demo particularly, which is the Taunt, right? You have like this shout that gets aggro from surrounding enemies onto you. That is an interesting ability that opens up so many possibilities for strongholds and for raids, right? Like, are we gonna have actual roles where someone needs to tank a certain boss when he does a certain, like, that's the way I would feel that it would be best implemented, because like in traditional MMORPGs, usually the tank would get try to have constant aggro, and the healer would keep him alive as much as possible. But in Anthem, right, you don't really have a dedicated healer, so I don't think you're gonna be wanting aggro 24/7 on you, since you still need to get your health pickups. Like, you're still killable, you're not invincible. Um, but maybe, you know, in a certain boss fight, there's gonna be like this one enemy that has a super strong ability, and that would normally kill the other javelins. But then, as the Colossus, maybe you can taunt that enemy at the right time and block the ability with your frontal shield. Like, that would be the kind of thing that I would feel would be implemented with this. I have yet to see if it's going to be implemented, but it does give me hope for possibilities in dungeon content, really. I mean, personally, I don't think you put Taunt in your game for no reason. Like, yes, it gets aggro from normal enemies, but like I said, you kind of don't want that um, at first, because you're still kind of, like, you're pretty easy to gun down. Like, I've been melted in seconds by certain enemies, especially like the gun turrets and all that stuff, right? Or if a swarm of enemy focuses you, you're not gonna last very long. If you get flanked, also. So, I don't think you're gonna want to have constant aggro. But we have yet to see like how powerful the javelins get in the end game, right? I mean, you're clearly gonna get more armor. You're clearly gonna get more health. So maybe at one point you do become this literal tank. I have yet to see this. I kind of have hope for it. But at the same time, I don't want to get tanky to the point where I don't really need to focus on getting health pickups anymore, and I don't have to be as aggressive. I really like the aggressive and mobile playstyle that I was kind of forced into, right? And I don't know, I just really fell in love with that way of playing the game. Um, so yeah, to me, if you like big explosions, if you like Warhammer 40k Marines and all that stuff, you know, big intimidating robots like the Hulkbuster, you're definitely gonna like the Colossus. If you like Gunlance in Monster Hunter World like I did, you're gonna like the Colossus. So as I said, the other javelins, the Interceptor and the Storm, are gonna be coming up a little later, since I haven't really had a chance to play them personally in the VIP demo. So I'm gonna be looking forward to the open demo for that, and hopefully get enough content to show off and give my thoughts on them. And like I said, I'm gonna be checking out every single class a lot further once the game launches officially. I'm definitely gonna focus on the Colossus first, since he's my favorite. But I will try to look into the other ones and see what kind of builds we can get, and what kind of gear we can get with all these different javelins, right? So that will be it for now, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.